The secret to making over $20,000 in your first 30 days of wholesaling real estate. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, what I want to do is give you a step-by-step guide on how you can make your first $20,000 in wholesaling real estate this month in under 30 days. If you got no money, you got very little money, what I want to do is just show you exactly how you can get your first wholesaling real estate deal that's going to land you $20,000 on that deal. Heck, the reason why I'm telling you this is because at 17 years old, I made over $20,000 wholesaling houses my first deal. And I want you to do the same exact thing, especially when you're broke like me starting out in this business. Now, my name's Zach Ginn. I've done over 2,000 wholesaling real estate deals. And what I could tell you is in my 6-year journey of doing 2,000 deals, the process of finding people who want to get rid of their property, putting it under contract and selling it to a cash buyer for a big assignment fee has not changed. Maybe a little bit of how you do it, but overall, this business has been stupid simple, and it still is for you to have wholesaling success. But before I break down a $4,000 course breakdown guide today, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. So the first thing we have to understand in wholesaling real estate, when we want to get the results we want, we have to understand the action that we need to take. And this brings us to a very important concept and a phrase I've been always saying on this YouTube channel. Actions equal results. This basically means whatever type of results that we want, we must take the actions to get it. Now, I know my handwriting's bad, but hopefully the concepts stick to you. So if my result is to make $20,000, we got to understand making that $20,000 has to equate to something, specifically the action. So what type of action am I going to have to do to make that $20,000? Now, honestly, what I have found, the action you have to take is your marketing effort. So this marketing effort is exactly what's going to equate to $20,000. Now, what is $20,000 in wholesaling of marketing effort? It can be a multitude of things, but $20,000 in marketing effort, in my personal opinion, if you want to get a $20,000 deal in the marketing effort you need to take, you got to do these simple things. You have to do what we call the upward spiral. Now, the upward spiral is completely different than what we call the downward spiral. Now, you guys probably have already learned and already know about the downward spiral, where when we do something terrible or bad, things just get really bad, right? You end up losing your job, you do something bad, you make a terrible decision, and you end up arrested or homeless, right? Well, the upward spiral works the same exact way. Now, a downward spiral, we start not marketing, and when we don't market, we start not getting leads, and when we don't start getting leads, we don't get deals. When we don't get deals, we can't pay our bills, and eventually we spiral down and we end up pretty much homeless. But in wholesaling real estate, if we have an upward spiral, we start down here and we start talking to sellers and pulling lists and following up and going on all the appointments and keep talking to sellers and calling hours and hours and hours a day. Our results and the amount of money we make will upward spiral with us. It's kind of like us getting sucked up in a tornado, but that tornado is actually our success for wholesaling. So the point and the concept you have to understand here is if you want to make $20,000 in wholesaling, you're going to have to start at the bottom here and start making that upward spiral up here. Now, there's multiple points in the upward spiral. There's consistent action, and then that consistent action is going to lead to consistent lead. And that all brings us up here to your first deal. Now, the main question here is we kind of understand, yes, we got to start with pulling lists, and then we can start whatever marketing tactic we can do. You can do text blasting, you can cold call, you can do bandit signs, whatever it is you want to do. You just got to understand that you can replace this cold calling or whatever marketing you want to do with anything. But for the upward spiral to work, you're going to have to start from the bottom, which is pulling a list, doing a marketing tactic or a channel. I mean, cold calling, texting, bandit signs, reverse trying for dollars, whatever it is. And if you can consistently do those two actions consistently, right? We're going to add some SMS. We're going to add some reverse drawing for dollars. Another terrible handwriting. But whatever you want to start doing, any of these things, but if you can consistently do these two things, you'll start spiraling upwards, and it's all going to flow into consistent leads. And when you start getting consistent leads, you're going to start going on more appointments. You're going to write up contracts. You're going to talk to cash buyers. You're going to consistently be taking that cash buyer, that dispo action too. And they're all going to flow to you getting your first deal. Guys, this is how I got my first deal. And this is how so many beginners get their first deal. They call it the upward spiral. They start gaining traction and they start getting wholesaling real estate deals. And this is all coming from this upward spiral motion. And so really a lot of people complicate wholesaling real estate. But if you want to get $20,000 in marketing effort, you just got to work on what we call the upward spiral here. Now, let me tell you the honest truth. Most wholesalers quit at this exact point. Right when it gets to taking consistent action every single day, this is when most people quit. This is where the quitters in wholesaling real real estate and the people that aren't serious about it, this is where they actually stop. If you can get past the point where most people will stop taking consistent action and you start consistently doing the calling and the list pulling and the marketing that you know you have to do, then you'll become successful in wholesaling real estate. The issue is most people aren't willing to do that. But if you can push past this point, the leads will start coming in. So if anybody in wholesaling real estate wants to come to me and say, Zach, I can't get my first deal, I can't become successful, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what's wrong, and I get all these complaints about how I can't get my first deal, you're going to notice very fast in this business that the lack of leads is coming from a lack of consistent action. And if you're not consistently taking action, that is going to be the main problem that you're having. So if you look at the top here, you want to ask yourself, hey, Zach, I want to get my first wholesaling real estate deal. Okay. Well, are you going to do the methods that it takes? Are you getting consistent leads? No. Well, how do I get consistent leads? Do consistent action. What's consistent action? Consistent action is pulling a list and marketing to that list, right? Of course, there's cash buyers and other things like that. But really, for 90% of the people watching this video that are struggling or want to get their first deal, you just got to focus on these two things. That is it. I don't care what your guru's mama, your guru's aunt's got to say. It's all about focusing on the upward spiral. On top of this too, we have to look at the average wholesaler versus the big brained wholesaler that actually gets $20,000 in a month. Most wholesalers aren't making 20 grand a month. They're not consistently doing deals. Well, there's a key difference and distinction between successful wholesalers and wholesalers that end up quitting or not becoming successful. Number one, this is very important. If I look at the average wholesaler here in wholesaling real estate, they do very simple things. Number one, they listen to broke wholesaling gurus. If you listen to a broke wholesaling guru who's here just to make money off of you in wholesaling, you're not going to get anywhere in life. Number two, these broke wholesaling gurus, because they're broke, and what I mean by broke, they might make some money selling you coaching programs, but they actually don't run a legit wholesaling real estate operation. And so that's why I'm very qualified to talk about the broke wholesaling gurus, because most wholesaling gurus are broke. On top of that too, when you listen to broke wholesaling gurus, they're going to tell you the same exact things that worked 15 years ago when they started this business, or 7 years ago, that they never changed at all. They're all going to tell you to do the same lists. And when every single wholesaler goes after the same exact lists, what do you think happens? Y'all end up getting the same exact results. So why are you going to do what every other person basically does? Got to be a little more different than that. And they get into what we call the hamster wheel of gurus. Now, I don't know if I drew that the right way, but it's called the hamster wheel of gurus, which basically means at point A, the guru gets you very excited to get into wholesaling real estate. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get into wholesaling. They're trying to get you excited. And number two, they start giving you info. Now, the point of the info is to get you to actually buy their program. They don't want to give you the real information. That's why they don't tell you about how you have to take consistent action or do driving for dollars or cold calling or government list or anything we teach at freewholesaling.com, which you all need to do. And then because the info is really bad, I'm going to write bad info here, you get no result. And then exactly, the guru, when you start not getting results, tells you the reason why you're not getting results is because there's this super duper crazy big secret. If you pay me money, I will tell you. Most people can't drop 10, 12 grand to learn this stuff. So they end up not paying for the secret, and then they get sad. And then, oh no, the hamster wheel starts where they tell you, wait, there's this new method in real estate. It's called novations or lease options or vacant land wholesaling or whatever new terms or something that's not wholesaling, but they change the name. They call it reverse wholesaling, whatever it is. They call it the alligator method, whatever they want to call it. They'll say it's this new method in real estate wholesaling and you got to do it. And they get you excited. They give you terrible info. You get no results. And then they hit you with the secret of that method to actually become successful. And if you pay it, maybe they'll give you the right info. But if you don't, you end up sad until a new method happens. This is called the guru hamster wheel. If you get stuck in this hamster wheel, you're probably going to get in it. Maybe it's a sales funnel trying to get you to pay. And if you don't pay, you're never going to be successful. But that's what the average wholesaler does. You do not want to be the average wholesaler. The average wholesaler is going to end up broke not getting wholesaling deals. You got to be an awesome rich wholesaler. So let's talk about what the successful wholesalers do. So you want to be this guy right here. You want to be the successful wholesaler with money on their mind, making a ton of cash. A successful wholesaler will do very, very different things than a broke wholesaler. Number one, successful wholesalers always stick to the big three marketing channels and the big three marketing lists. The big three marketing channels for real estate wholesaling is cold calling, SMS, and direct mail. That is what they stick to, and that's what successful wholesalers do. If you stick to the big three here, you will be successful when it comes to the channels. Now, what are the top three marketing lists? Number one, government lists. Number two, paid lists. And number 3, earned lists. Remember guys, government lists are lists you get absolutely for free from the government. These are your probates, code violations, water shutoffs, tax liens, tax delinquencies. I think you guys get the point, the evictions list. These are lists you can get absolutely for free from the government if you go to freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course. Let me write it down so you guys remember. Freewholesaling.com. When you go to freewholesaling.com, you'll learn how to do all these things absolutely for free. Number 2, paid lists. These are lists you can pay for, like the vacants, the high equities, and other really important stacked list features. You can get this from either listrei.com, smszach.com, or any type of paid list service out there. These are very high quality data, but it does cost some money. But that's how most wholesalers stick to it when they're pulling the list too. And then number 3, earn lists. These are lists you actually have to go out here and earn. These are drawing for dollars and reverse drawing for dollars, heck, even door knocking. These are not the easiest lists to be going out here, but you have to earn them. The point is this, that nobody else can get this list, even if they had the money to pay for it. They actually had to go out here and do the hard work to actually get these type of lists. But successful wholesalers stick to the big 3 of these 3 things. I would say about 90% of all people get their first wholesaling deal through these top 3 lists, and 80% of all wholesalers get their first deal from these 3 marketing channels. Do not try to be the super rare 10% of people who are doing it outside what mainstream wholesaling lists are. Stick to what's working and stick to the fundamentals. I feel like an old basketball coach saying this, but if you stick to the fundamentals, you will be successful. On top of this too, and probably most importantly, these people go to freewholesaling.com and they all go through the entire course, ask questions, and subscribe to this channel. Hint, hint, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. The point here being is if you actually listen to legit advice from someone that's done over 2,000 wholesaling real estate deals and Rick who's done over 4,000, heck, approaching 5,000, there's no way you can lose in this business. We teach you exactly how to get into wholesaling, how to get your first deal, and all these things. So that's why if you're watching this video, you need to go to freewholesaling.com and actually learn how to get your knowledge game up and take the action. So if you want to know the secret to making $20,000 in wholesaling real estate, you got to work on the upward spiral, stick to the big 3 marketing list and marketing channels, and you'll definitely make 20 grand in under 30 days. If you do that, you'll be successful. And heck, even if you go to freewholesaling.com, you'll see people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month learning our stuff, and you can be the same exact success story. So if you're ready to get your journey going and becoming successful in wholesaling real estate, do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, go right here to freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course, and I wish you journey on your wholesaling success. It is not going to be an easy journey or a journey that takes 3 hours of work to do. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be tough, but at the end of that journey, you're going to make tens of thousands of dollars every single month, and you can change your life and your financial life forever. Go out here and do the hard work every single day that's required, and you'll become a successful wholesaler. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.